So I had zero expectations when I purchased and buzzed my way, and yes, B, prepared for the puns, into Bee Simulator the video game. But I have to tell you guys, I actually enjoyed this game despite its many, many flaws. Make no mistake, Bee Simulator is exactly what it sounds like. You play the role of a bee, specifically a honeybee, whose goal is to collect pollen for her hive. What I didn't expect though was to actually learn so many unique and fun facts about bees while playing this game. This game is actually an educational game, where its goal is to teach you about bees, and in those regards it succeeds really well. For example, did you know that bees can travel up to 15.5 miles per hour? Did you know that bees actually dance to give directions? Did you know that honeybees actually take little breaks in between their flights and have a much better dental plan than you do? Okay, so the last part I made up, but you get the point. It does a really good job in teaching you about bees and other insects and bugs even. However, in order to enjoy your bee facts, you have to be willing to get behind the issues this game has. Okay, I'm done with the puns. Graphically speaking, it's not the best, and there are definitely some other technical issues as well, such as occasional stuttering and textures popping in. Controlling your bee feels a little bit janky, but that might be intentional and oddly enough feels right to me. It feels like a bee. Then there are activities themselves, such as fighting enemies, dancing, and even races, but none of these are that fun, and the races at times can be infuriating due to the controls. I should also mention that whether the game is docked or in handheld mode, as I did play it on the Nintendo Switch, it feels about the same. There aren't any motion controls or anything like that. I just used a Pro controller, but I wanted to give you guys that heads up. Thankfully though, flying around the open environment itself, collecting pollen and finding collectibles is really enjoyable. I love going into bee vision, stinging people, and popping balloons. Yes, you can use your stinger to pop balloons. And also, I should mention that once you go around and you collect all your pollen, you can take it back to the hive, where you'll receive essentially money in the game, which will allow you to buy really cute hats for the bee! Which might be my favorite thing, oddly enough, about this entire game, is putting little cute hats on my bee. And there's actually a room specifically where you can collect statues, and these statues are of various bugs and insects that you encounter in the world, and they'll give you little tidbits of information as well about other bugs and insects. And I think that's really cool that they kind of took the extra step in the educational side of this game. To sum this game up for you guys, Bee Simulator is definitely not for everyone. It's a very imperfect game, and it definitely has some big issues. This is the type of game that you play if you want to learn about bees and you don't want to take it too seriously, because you really do have to look past a lot of the flaws. But I personally really enjoyed this game. I learned a lot. It was a success in my book, just for the sheer fact that I learned all sorts of new fun tidbits about bees, and now at the party I'm gonna be the coolest person ever. I'm kidding, obviously not, but you get the point. It also costs $40, at least it did for the physical version, and that's way too expensive. I would say 15 bucks tops for this game. And I am going to go now and give Bee Simulator for the Nintendo Switch a C. And it gets the C because, like I said, it has a lot of flaws, and even though it has these flaws, like, voice acting, the voice acting in this game is just the worst thing about it. But besides that part, I enjoyed this game, so I feel like it deserves a C because it does deliver on what its purpose is, and its purpose is, I feel, to teach kids about bees and other various bugs and insects, and in that regard, you know, the game succeeds. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this very casual review. I do appreciate your time, and as always, guys, stay awesome. I will see you on the next video. I am Bradley Overrated, out like a trout. Have a good one.